What is going on, guys? Troublesome here, and I am back. Another episode of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018, and I finally found a Bentley. This is a Bentley T-Series, and it doesn't give me a year, but upon a little bit of research, I have learned that it was manufactured between 1965 and 1980. So, found this one in the junkyard. It's horrible. This is part of the DLC, overhead valve V8. I think this is a totally different engine. It looks different. And, you know, a couple new other parts that come with this. So, that's what we're going to do. No. All right, guys, let's go. Also downloaded this mod. It's a Jeep Cherokee. I've got a couple things I got to do to it before I do a video on it. I can't deal with this. It's got a V6 and it's got independent front suspension, and I just can't. I've owned 3 of those things in my life, and that ain't how they're built. So I'm going to have to fix it. Anyway, back to the Bentley. This is a DLC that Playway released. I can say this already. I'm not real impressed with this model. The grille isn't removable. The fenders aren't removable. Now, typically you see that in guys, you know, in mod cars because it's a difficult process, but whenever it's the developer of the game, I expect a little more. Especially when you pay money for it, and all those other guys are making them for free. So this is a right-hand drive. Okay. Now, like I said, I do believe this is a one-off engine. Not completely sure yet. I did get a new monitor, guys. I got a ViewSonic 27-inch, I think it's an XG01 or something like that. 144 hertz, 1080. It's nice. It's a different experience than playing on my 32-inch Panasonic television that I was playing on. It's a totally different feel. I'm going to go over here and repair the body and interior. While I'm at it, go ahead and get that battery charge in. Exterior. Man, that color is loud. I love it. Wow. Let's check out some details now that we got it fixed up. Some nice looking logo. Not sure if that transmission hump was actually colored differently in real life or if that's just on here. That's pretty interesting. And then pass-through trunk. I don't know if that's a real thing or not, but there's a decent look at the body. I really wish that grill came off, and I really wish maybe these markers or something came off. Like I said, I'm a lot more sympathetic to that stuff whenever it's mod makers, because they're making, you know, this stuff from scratch, but that's not what I wanted to do. But when it's game developer and you actually pay for these things, it's a little bit disappointing. Now, Bentley used to be its own company, standalone company, and Rolls-Royce actually bought them out in 1931. I think it was a racing competition type of thing to try to take out the competition. So Bentley was owned by Rolls-Royce, and it's very apparent in this car because this is essentially a Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow with a little bit different grille. I cannot really find much difference in the two. Now, I think the intention was for Rolls-Royce to be the more bougie version of this of the cars, and this was the poor man's version, if you could ever call a Bentley a poor man's car. But the you know, the price difference was $50 or 50 British pounds back then, and I have no idea what that equates to nowadays. I could probably look that up. But just to give you an idea of how similar they look, I'm going to overlay some images back and forth right about now and let you look at the difference. This is the Bentley T-Series. This is the Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. T-Series, Silver Shadow. T-Series, Silver Shadow. T-Series, Silver Shadow. Pretty hard to distinguish, isn't it? pulled those images from Wikipedia. If you want to go look a little bit more, you know, deeper into the history of this whole deal, that's where I got the images, and that's where I learned most of the things I learned about the cars. That and a couple other articles, but yeah, it looks like the Bentley had just a little bit more subtle of a grille, and that's about it. I am curious to know if this thing actually had disc brakes in the front in the 60s, because that seems like it wouldn't be the case, but maybe it did. I would think this thing would come with drums, given the era. I just got on the workshop before I started playing this here, and it looks like Gollywog has made a Lamborghini Yalpa, and I subscribed to it, but I couldn't find it. I'm very excited to do that. Yalpa. And the Lotus DLC's out, and I haven't purchased it yet. I hope the Lotus DLC isn't required for anything that I've downloaded, mod-wise, because I think I'm going to hold out on it for a while. Now, I very specifically remember there being talks of a Zonda DLC coming out and on modder pages and stuff, and I have yet to see any evidence of that. So I don't know. If anybody knows what's up with that, post a comment and let me know. Holy crap, guys, I didn't even know this was added. They have a create a new engine option on here. That means you can build motors and not have to rebuild the one that's in the car every time. That's so awesome. Thank you for that. Let's fix up what we got. Buy some parts to get the body fixed back up. Man, I am just missing all kinds of crap. Might as well go shopping. The production numbers on this car were super low, like under 2,000. Really, really low production numbers. Well, I think a couple years they only made like less than 10. It was pretty crazy. So I would bet that the value of these is through the roof. I don't know, and I honestly don't know if this is more or less rare than a Silver Shadow of the same era. Now these front seats, you can put anything up here, but because the back seat you only have one option, it's black. So I have to go with the black front seats, and I'm going to go with this steering wheel because I think it's classy. All right, there's the body together, multicolored, looking good, looking right. Alright guys, I looked it up. This actually did have four-wheel disc brakes, which is crazy in the 60s. Especially for a big old four-door sedan like this. So that's pretty cool. Woo, look at that. Love it. Love it. Let's go ahead and get these bad boys mounted up, and we'll spray this beast. Then do the engine. I just kind of want to look and see what kind of features, oh god, that engine has. Yeah, that is a cool car. I'm going to spray it this pinky peachy color. I kind of love it. Pearl. Paint. Yeah, that's so dope. It's such a cool car. Oh my god, my computer's lagging so bad. What in the hell? Yeah, that's beautiful. That is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Engine block T-Series. So it is its own engine. For sure. So I'm curious to see what the difference is on this thing. I'll time-lapse it, and I'll stop the time-lapse whenever something relevant comes up. But obviously these flywheels and this kind of stuff is all pretty much the same. But obviously something's going to be different about it. Okay, so this is a search for T-Series in the parts store. Dual carburetor, probably two of these. There, the engine block, gearbox. It's only got its own special transmission. Intake manifold. I don't know how many of those I need. Probably two of those, one of those, one of those, a whole lot of push rods. Probably 16 push rods. It is a V8. Alright, let's see how far. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and buy some pistons and rings just because I'm not sure what I've got in my inventory. W12. Look at that weird little flat top. That's cool. And I'll go ahead and get some spark plugs too. Alright, let's try that. It's a very oddly placed oil filter there. It does have its own heads. Wow, that's a lot of bolts. A single camshaft. I don't have that gear. Pretty interesting spark plug placement. Kind of cool, kind of cool. And then these miserable things. I'll get these put in and then I'll be back. Alright, not sure if you can tell on that time lapse there, but after you put these push rods in, there is a rocker arm assembly that goes on top. It's got a few bolts holding it on. It's kind of cool. And then the engine head cover is really cool looking with Bentley emblazoned on the side. Header looking exhaust manifolds. This big old T-Series power steering pump, which is proprietary. What else we got? What else we got? Oh, I got spark plugs down here, don't I? I'm not sure here why the intake manifold's not coming up. I'm assuming it has something to do with the rocker or with the cam timing setup. So let's go buy some parts. There's a crazy looking water pump. Look at that, it looks like a steampunk. Yep, that's what it was. The water pump had to be mounted before the intake manifold could go on. There's an alternator bracket, I do believe. That is a pretty intricate intake also, and a butt ton of bolts. The reason the water pump's got to go on is because it's got hard piping into the top of the water pump. That water jacket there, that's crazy. All right, alternator, carb setup, 1 bolt. One throttle. Man, these British engines are crazy. I wonder if this is like typical British engine stuff or if this is just a Bentley thing. Okay, this looks like it. What is that? What? That is crazy. Okay. Wow. All right. All right, the exhaust lines up nicely. Starter is a regular old V8 starter. Man, those bolts are always a struggle. Always a struggle. Okay, I think that's it underneath. And every time I say that, I'm wrong. There's their battery, their radiator, and their brake master cylinder. Is that it? That's it. That is it. There it is, guys. The Bentley T-Series from the 60s. 60s, 70s. Not exactly sure what year, but yeah, that's it. Let's take a look-see around here. Jump in the old driver's seat. This is luxury at its finest in the 60s. There's part of the Bentley DLC, guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me as always, and I will see you guys next time.